Tu sais où? Putain, comme avec. Écoute, moi, t'as dit, c'est Let me cross that. Salve, galera. Foi cá.
What makes Green Berets different from the rest of special operations community, my personal opinion, is our adherence to the fact that we're quiet professionals.
Since it's going to be dark when we move into the trees, I want to keep it tight, so that way we're spending as little amount of time as possible. So we get in the trees, we get a good accountability, I make sure they know the building, and then they're going to lead out from there and I'll pick up the rear.
The thing that makes the Green Berets different from everybody else in special operations that we're very adaptive. There's no no in our vocabulary. I guess what I would like to say is it's rare that we can fail because we find another way around. Our biggest thing is to try to do everything we can by, with, and through our partner force. And we're very well-rounded, making it to where adapting is easy for us because we've done it all.
Determination, I would say. The refusal to quit. I mean, you get that a lot in SOF, but we really try and live by it. And we're a pretty humble group of guys, real tight-knit community. And that's why I don't really like talking us up too much, but yeah, I'd say it's that determination. That's what got me through selection, through the Q course. Like my dad told me before I was selected, he's like, whatever happens, just don't quit. So, and that's the one thing that got me through. I'm not the big, bulky Navy SEAL dude, or I'm not the biggest guy that can lift the most weight, but I got the same qualities that you'll find in everybody on my ODA. So.
Something people don't know about the Green Berets, well, there's quite a bit. One, we get umbrellaed under just the term Special Forces as a whole throughout the community, which Green Berets is a very specific piece within the Special Operations community. We wear a Special Forces tab, but that term is generally used for all elements within U.S. SOCOM. Green Berets specifically are U.S. Army Special Forces. We have 5 major set mission goals, which mainly include unconventional warfare, foreign internal defense, special reconnaissance, direct action, and counterterrorism operations. We have a multitude of tasks that we take part of, but we are the Department of Defense's lead for unconventional warfare operations.
I would definitely say that our best quality is being adaptive to what the environment gives us.
He's hit. Hey, I got him! You get cover for Jake! Hey, Comcam, cover that door! All right. Hey, what kind of blood is it? Is it squirting? Yeah.
I'd say the commando mission is it's an ability to affect an area that is hard to reach. The best way that to describe the commandos is all the other forces can't get there or reach that area. They're able to bring a large force, fly them into deep into enemy territory and affect some of the higher ups and be able to get multiple enemy KI and disrupt a large network with just one night. So I mean, to describe them would be effective.
When did Special Forces first pick up the commando mission? Really, it first got picked up in 2006 when we realized that throughout our combat FID-focused mission that we're conducting here, we needed deliberate, direct action dedicated units to support what was growing into the ANA. Started off with the model that was kind of used in Iraq. We're standing up the ICTF and took a contingent of about 70 commandos, which became the Commando Training Cadre, to Jordan with 3rd Special Forces group members and ran them through my rated training there. That group came back in 2006 and started the training up of the first 4 Kandax that went operational by 2007. And then since then, we're now at 9 Kandax as a whole under ANISOC.
I hope that the commandos and the ANA, out of the training that we give them, kind of get that warrior mentality that we try to push on the enemy. We try and push that aggressive level, man. Just that hopefully they see how we act as soldiers or as a team guy, and it kind of motivates them to be aggressive when they need to be, because they're going into harm's way just as much as any other, if not more, than any other ANASF unit. So they're essentially the unit that the government's going to call when a district center is overrun or there's a bad situation developing in a not so good part of the country. So they need to be prepared for that type of thing, and we hope that during our training we do prepare them for that, because we're fighting right alongside them. And if we can't depend on the guys that we're fighting with to act like we act, or at least the modicum of how we act, then the training is not really valuable. So out of the training aspect of it, we try and make it realistic, because these guys are about to go into harm's way right after that training.
The points of focus that I drive into training when training the commandos and the NASF, at the tactical level, the members of my detachment work that level down, I'd say company level down, and they work hard on the tactical side of the house, the basics, being masters of basics like everyone should be who wants to be a high-level operator. Land navigation, day and night, weapon emplacement, marksmanship, close quarters combat. Try to focus centric on the mission that they have at hand, and generally it's half operations to conduct a deliberate clear with the possibility of IEDs and knowing that we're going to be hit from strong point positions once set up. So defensive perimeters, accountability of personnel, IED detection and mitigation, entering and clearing a room, proper SSE. These are things that we were hit on heavy at the tactical level.
Chuck, status of search.
Mission set that we have currently, trying to train them into operating by themselves, is I'd like them to have more capabilities. We had situations where they are very dependent on our airlifts, and they're very dependent on doing certain things certain ways. I'd like them to go back to the basics and understand how to shoot, move, and communicate, and not lock themselves down in one area and hope that the Air Force drops bombs on people. I'd like them to be able to understand how to maneuver again and get after the enemy, as well as branching out and utilizing their armored package and driving places, trying to get inventive with their mission sets so that they learn that adaptiveness that we're trying to convey upon them, that hey, just because you don't have something doesn't mean you can't make it work.
Conducting missions with or operations with commandos and ANSF can be pretty interesting at times. A lot of guys honestly can relate. It depends on the platoon or the SOC that you're going out with. If you have a bad SOC, or they can say it's the best mission you've been on if you have a good SOC or platoon. It just depends on who you guys work with and the amount of training and effort to build rapport that you put into it yourself. I've had great experience with both commandos and ANSF. ANSF, to me, are as close to an American ODA as you're going to get in Afghanistan as far as partner force goes. They got die-hard relentless aggression, which is awesome, and the guys take ownership of their work and of the mission. I've been pushed back in the stack by ANSF members, and same thing, commandos. If you fight valiantly, or if you display to them the courage needed to face the enemy, they'll go with you. They just need a little bit more encouragement than the ANSF guys, which usually are, in some cases, dragging us to the objective. So.
Oh, okay.
Second RPG.
Hey, Vic.
Yep.
Here, come here.
To have the ANSF and the commandos working together is a lot like trying to have SF work with a Ranger battalion. The Ranger battalion is great at what they do, and they are very regimented, and they have I would say a straight line kind of mentality, and we try to work outside the box. And like I said, if something comes up, we try to adapt to it and work around. So I believe the ANSF are kind of the same in that part goes. So to have them underneath the commandos command, it makes it to where they have issues as far as like you have anytime you have special operations working together. I think it can be great potential though, because in previous missions that we've done since we've been here, we've had ANSF and commandos mixed into the same unit, part of it. So like our support element, we had ANSF and commandos with each other. And the commandos seemed to feed off of the ANSF energy and move out a lot better, and they wanted to go out and fight and do other stuff. But to have that capability to work together, they really have to work through a lot of egos, which I think is just like any special operations community. You got to put your ego aside sometimes and try to get that together. But I really see a lot of potential coming from them, and a lot of good things in the future, as long as they can keep those egos out of it and start pushing each other. So I can see the ANSF taking our role when we leave and being those mentors for the commandos and the leaders.
Got it. That's not. I killed him. I killed him. I killed him. Hey, neck wound, grazing, no arterial bleed.
All right.
Gunshot. Gunshot wound in the neck. What's my only concern with this dude? Huh? My only concern with this dude is like he doesn't want to turn his head. Okay. So if we got to egress out of here, he's shitty. But I mean, we got to fucking man up to get out of here. As fast? Well, yeah. Alright. Hey, just like you're like turning a corner, I want you to try to just snap a picture of that. Alright, bro? Need light? Alright, man. Same thing, man. I try to get a money shot on it.
Mental preparations. We do a pretty good job, I think, of when we go into a reverse cycle of utilizing every single waking moment we have toward rehearsals and preparing our equipment and going around, that everyone stays mission focused and that the element leaders are pulling their additional members, US aside, and walking through the plans over and over and over again, so that once we get off the aircraft, we already know exactly where azimuth we need to head toward. We already know the first building that's going to be used as a strong point, and then where every additional building goes from there. We are already mentally preparing for, once contact's taken, how we're going to move to support that contact, how we're going to get to a casualty, how we're going to get that casualty back, where our closest HLZs are by phase. These mental rehearsals are going down constantly through the guys' heads, especially mine. Kind of being the team sergeant of it all when it comes to a mass cows situation or something like that's my main focus. So I'm always in the back of my head thinking, by phase, by element, if crisis happens here, how am I getting there? Who am I taking with me? What's my fastest route? Where's my closest HLZ? And if I get hit on the way there, who am I calling to reinforce me? How are they going to get to me? And then how are we still going to push forward to that crisis site and get that casualty out? It's happened more than a couple times so far since we've been here. We have successfully every time made it to the wounded or the dead partner force soldier, and we have successfully medevaced them out every time. Knock on wood. We still have a couple ops left, but that has worked out across the board. Mentally, I think everybody does something a little different. Some guys will, right before we get on the helicopter, you'll see the guys kind of pull off to the corner, and you can see them going through a mental checklist in their head, making sure that they know what they got. Recount the number of commandos, recount the number of charges, recount the number of special equipment that's with them. We're going over GRGs under the red lamp while we're out there at HLZ posture, just redundantly going through that in their head, just preparing for what we know. Because that is the one note with this mission. We don't fly into softball targets. We know when we go in, it's going to be a fight.
There's a lot of obstacles at this phase in the war right now. A lot of the American people, and I'll give you a couple different aspects of this thing, through the eyes of the American people. When I deployed to Afghanistan, I was told by a family member, there's still fighting going on there. So, in the eyes of the American public, I'd say they're war-weary, and a lot of them don't know what's going on over here, don't have a good picture of what's going on over here. So some of the challenges are feeling like you have the support back home. We definitely have the support of the people that know us personally, but it's the public opinion that I value, and it's difficult because I don't feel like there's a proper picture of what's going on over here.
At this stage in the war, like I had mentioned before, we have we're in a situation where we're leaving soon. And the next teams that come in are going to be strictly advisory roles. So we are trying to balance the independent operations of the commandos and ANSF, and doing our partner operations as well. But the partner operations are starting to become a little more hybrid, where it's we provide them with a mission sooner. They have a lot more say in it. They have a better understanding, and they help plan it. At times, we have, in the past, there was no issues with using demolition. There was no issues with entering compounds. Once you got into an area, you could figure out which was the best compound to strong point in and set up shop. And then as far as air-to-ground ordnance, it's become a big issue. We don't want any civilian casualties, because that's not what we're here for. But the Taliban have such a good campaign against us and propaganda against us that anytime we use air-to-ground, even if there wasn't any civilian casualties, they will spin it to that there was. And then basically whoever gets the word out first is the one that everybody's going to believe.
How does the constant changing ROE constantly affect our operations? That can be a two-sided question. I would start off by saying I understand where some of the ROE considerations come in at this phase of the war. We are trying to minimize unneeded civilian casualties. It puts in a large restraint in the way of supporting us when we get hit from an overwhelming force who is smart enough to barricade himself in with civilians. They also know this ROE, and it endangers us. Now, when it comes down to it, if we're pinned down, unable to maneuver, etc., will they drop in support? Not if they see those civilians, I don't think. So that puts us in inherent problems. So that's the biggest way the ROE affects us, is mostly in the way of CAS, as I see it. And the enemy has capitalized on that. The enemy knows not to move in the open with weapons. Now they move to cache points. They know where the helicopter and that ISR platforms cannot see them down the green zones, and they utilize that. And then they get into the buildings and they utilize the innocent bystanders essentially as human shields from air-to-ground fires. So what does that do to us? That causes us to either directly try to engage them while they're already fortified, causing more casualties, or it causes us to have to pull back and try to draw them out, essentially, which rarely works. Past that, the ROE, it's kind of always remained the same as far as right to self-defense. I had no issues with that. And that's a good thing, in my opinion. The force ratios that go back and forth, I know that doesn't really fall under ROE, but it kind of does. That always kind of affects things because it puts a higher risk to the forces on the ground. In my opinion, it's either I take my full package with me that's capable of sustaining and fighting by itself if need be, or I take no package. It shouldn't be a slimmed down package because you never really know what's going to happen to the heart of the partner force in a real bad way, and what's going to happen if there's an overwhelming force that masses on them and starts massing on our overwatch position. If I'm sitting there with a slimline manned force because they don't want us to have too many U.S. personnel on the ground, then I'm setting myself up for failure on that one.
Hey, Masood. Hey, be in the middle with us so we can direct both elements. Let's do it. Hey, you want them in that building, right? Yeah, well, I want a strong point in this building so we can overwatch them. Corners. Corners, go. Yeah, keep me updated if our South's about to light us up. All right, brother, that's all of us. All right, Delta 1, go ahead and push. We're right at that wood line. I got a truck going straight up. It's one big fucking ambush. Hey, let's go, push. Warm up. Get out of the open. About a minute now. Let's go. No, no, no. Hey, hey, save your energy. Let's go. There. You're good. All right, let's go. All right, commandos. Hey, commandos are over there. Son of a bitch. Scotty, you ready to fucking do this? Are you on command? Yeah. Dan, this is Jim. Roger, is that your element engaging? Can you see the enemy that's shooting at us? Yeah, 1-6 actual, 1-6 Zulu. I'm trying to fucking hold down. We are definitely coming down and able to fucking maneuver on this one. We're in the fucking middle of the open. Commando! Hey! Commando! Commando! Yeah, Dan, push up to the river, man. I got some guys moving towards your direction right now. I'm covering their egress. Hey, hold! 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 SF go first, we go last. Hey! Yeah, and then they're going to hold for us and we'll go. Found it, found it. Oh, boarding. Yeah. Hey, boarding. Hey, go ahead and down, man. I got you. I'm holding down back here. Go. I got 1, 2. Shoot. 5. Commando! Over here, commando! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stand by, actual. We're gonna break contact right now. We're gonna fucking break contact right through fucking Rick's position. Hey, I got 7 commandos moving. I'm gonna move with them, Scotty. All right. Shit. Are we good? Head count go with you guys. You got everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey. Go. Which direction they shooting? Hey.
Where'd you guys take contact from? Basically from our 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Hey, let's go. Let's get the fuck away from this open area. Come on. There's just fucking targets right here. Come on. Hey, we're making our way down into the fucking riverbed right now. Hey! Check fire! Check fire! That is us moving down the fucking river. Go, commanders. Who are they shooting at?
Hey, we're close enough we can push back.
Yeah.
Here, let's get it.
Hey, let's go. Let's start pushing back. Go.
This rotation being the last rotation, not only to conduct commando operations with the commandos, but possibly the last combat rotation I go on is a strange problem set to contemplate. You know, I spent I spent 1/3 of my life either in Afghanistan or preparing to go to Afghanistan, and we lost a lot of good guys along the way, people that knew my name. There's still guys over here fighting, and you know, we got brothers on both sides, the American side and the partner force side. I owe my life to Afghan soldiers or policemen that fought for me, and after America leaves, they'll still be here fighting. So it's a strange problem set to consider. You know, it's what I've become used to. It's what I've gotten accustomed to, is training for Afghanistan, training for combat, going to Afghanistan, fighting, and what's next?
That's a hard one to swallow. I think guys that have lost brothers and been injured and stood by our partner force for years. It's very difficult to let that go. Not many people that haven't been at war or in special forces understand what I'm saying right now, but it's difficult to. We want to be with our families. We want to be at home and playing with our kids, but at the same sense we're torn because we want to be here. Standing by the brothers that are still here fighting, and fight for the ones that we lost because they're no longer with us, and honor them.
I pretty much have spent my entire adult life doing this job in the Army, and it's all been spent in this country. This will be trip 6 for me. I've seen it go from its infamousy stages to where we're at right now, and the amount of progression that the Afghan government and the military as a whole has made is phenomenal. And spending that much time over here and dedicating as much of my life as I have to it, and as many friends as I have lost in this fight, it will really bother me if we don't allow this to finish correctly, if we allow this to return back to the way it was before we got here within a short amount of time, because we pulled out a little prematurely.
Really, the big question is, like, how do we adapt? How do we reintegrate back into, the American populace? There's going to be a lot of guys with a lot of issues adapting, and a lot of guys are going to talk about it. A lot of guys are going to be too proud to talk about it. So we just really need to have the support of the American people back home, family and friends. Just understand that there's going to be a lot of people dealing with a lot of problems and issues that they may or may not be willing to talk about, just because they're adjusting from what they've become accustomed to, what they're used to. So it's you can always, there's that saying, you can take the dog out of the fight, but you can't take the fight out the dog. So it's not that we're bloodthirsty, we're not warmongers, it's just we're war fighters, and we got that mentality. And without an outlet or a means to do what we're trying to do, it's going to take some adaptation. So yeah, that's the best way I can answer that question. Is I don't know. I don't know how to. I'm just going to do what I can while I'm here and cherish this rotation that I can, and do what I can, you know, to keep the fight going, just to make it better for the guys that will be here after we leave and the guys that we've lost.
So to tell us that it's over now it's tough. So it's definitely not easy. But like I said, I feel that the training and the stuff that we were able to provide to Afghanistan, they can stand and they'll be okay.
Heavenly Father, I come before you tonight, and just first of all, it's an honor to stand here with these men as we prepare to go into possibly a very kinetic situation. God, I just thank you so much that we can come to you for all things. I thank you that we can be men of God and yet hard warriors, that we don't have to choose between one or the other. I pray, Father, tonight that you will instill us with just supernatural insight, that you'll help our eyes to see, our ears to hear, our mind to think and to conceive things that normally we wouldn't be able to do. God, may we glorify you in all that's done. I pray that should tonight be one of our last, God, that you will allow us to go out with honor. God, should we be put in the position to take another human's life tonight, Father, I pray that you help us to do it with honor and according to a code. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Protect us. We love you.